After so many years of living in New Jersey, it just started feeling like a rut. Many years ago, while I was waiting at the airport for my dreaded return to New Jersey after my Florida vacation, I saw this cute little 6-year-old girl crying her eyes out, "Mom, please, not New Jersey again." I was so impressed with her young insight, but then I felt bad for her at the same time. But that's when it struck me. I was also trapped living in New Jersey. We were living here in New Jersey to be close to our family and friends. However, everyone was too busy working to ever visit us, so it seemed pointless. I mean, it wasn't their fault, but you have to work harder and longer to keep up with the higher cost of living in New Jersey. I remember that sloped driveway, iced up. It was impossible to get into my car without slipping and falling. So I used to try to go through the garage and hold on to my car, and I would still slip and fall. New Jersey was really depressing after so many years. We felt a desperate need for sunlight and warmth, and we couldn't wait for summer, so we rented a beachfront condo in Myrtle Beach for a week in the spring. Without knowing in advance, that would be the miserable week of windy rainstorms, and it was also Bikers Week. So on day 4, when the storms finally stopped, there was no sleeping either, just loud motorcycles and outdoor parties all night long. All that trip planning and 24 hours of driving just to end up picking the wrong week and being in hell the entire week. So now we had to wait a whole nother year for a vacation. That was the kick we needed to make us realize that it might be time to make a permanent change. My husband and I decided to take the plunge. We were so fed up with the political corruption, the dark, dreary, cold weather, unhappy people, and living conditions in New Jersey that we sold our Jersey home and drove to Florida with no intentions of ever returning. We just wanted to come to Florida with what fit in our cars and sell or donate the rest of the contents of our home. I didn't even know I was hoarding in New Jersey because our house had so much closet space to make everything disappear. But I learned the contents was massive. Now I understand why I accumulated so much stuff. I tried to compensate for my dismal environment by habitually shopping for things I really didn't need as a diversion. Now we live as minimalists, and instead of our home owning us, we own our home. In New Jersey, we usually had a flat blanket of dark, gray, toxic clouds hanging low and making us feel closed in, most likely due to the pollution from refineries. This move had a positive effect on my lungs and my overall clarity and outlook on everything, no longer feeling closed in by the smog. Even that 6-year-old at the airport picked up on this. The very first thing I noticed driving into Florida was that the clouds were so fluffy and super bright white in front of a deep blue sky with such depth, like a 3D effect. So in 2015, we continued to drive the coast of Florida, exploring each city and staying at Hampton Inns along the way, while completely unsure of where we would end up calling our home. We briefly toured a few cities, but not until we got to Jupiter did it start feeling like our new home. At first, coming from New Jersey, I was getting a Stepford Wives or the Truman Show vibe in Jupiter. The city was too perfect. It was like laughable entertainment. Every inch of Jupiter was perfectly landscaped and so picturesque. The weather is dreamy most of the time. Jupiter residents are so friendly. Most of them came from up north, but they adapted to this lifestyle and became a product of their new environment, very un-Jersey-like.
I'm blessed to be alive. I am blessed.
Most Florida natives have no clue what the real world is like up north. They never had to shovel snow until there was no more room to stack any more snow, or bundle up in layers of coats, or try to walk on icy sidewalks without slipping and falling, or drive icy roads wondering if you're going to make it home safely or not, or wake up to gray skies and wonder what day the sun might appear again. They only ever known this, a beach with palm trees. Floridians here in Jupiter and Gardens typically wake up to sunny blue skies and cheerful people around them nearly every day, and festive Jupiter and Palm Beach Gardens days and nights with weekly free concerts, free beaches, and even a beach that allows dogs. I think I just let my New Jersey accent out on the word dogs. Anyway, watching the local news doesn't always put you in a state of depression, as there's a higher ratio of good to bad news compared to New Jersey anyway. Floridians never have to pay state income tax or capital gains tax or super high property taxes. Maybe the cost of living is higher in New Jersey because they don't have as much tourism as Florida. I'm not sure, but I know our cost of living seemed to drop. So we settled into a rental when we got to Jupiter while we were shopping for a home to buy, and we excitedly attended some of Jupiter's festive events. The rental had a clubhouse by the resort pool and a fitness center with free Starbucks coffee all day. I think I drank my rent money and free coffee alone. The first event was the Christmas boat parade, and it was beautiful. We had a blast. We were surprised that a fun night could cost zero. In New Jersey, to have a fun night, you have to pay tolls, parking, admission, souvenirs. Then they sell you overpriced food and drinks, etc. They even allow people to bring their own drinks and food to events here, even alcoholic beverages. Out of habit, I brought $100, and when we got home, I said to my husband, "Look, all my money's still here." We thought that was hilarious coming from New Jersey. So the traffic cops at the event actually escorted us across the street to keep us safe. One Jupiter cop randomly came up to us just to tell us a joke. Now, coming from New Jersey, it's a little scary having a uniformed cop walk up to you. So when he told us a joke, that was even funnier than the joke itself. In New Jersey, cops see so much gore daily that they rarely ever smile. I know because I used to bartend in New Jersey, and I became friends with cops who drown themselves in alcohol every night to try and forget what they saw that day. The sad thing is I recently learned that more than half of my New Jersey cop friends died young of liver problems because of this. A Jersey cop also admitted to me, back when I was his bartender, that there were perks given to cops who produced the most revenue from tickets. The perks were that the higher ticket producers got to choose their shifts. This was why they would hide and wait for someone to make an illegal U-turn so they could score a ticket. I was really surprised that Florida has U-turn lanes on almost every block. In New Jersey, you typically had to choose to either check and make sure no cops are around, then sneak a U-turn, or drive for many miles to try and find a way to change direction. For our next Jupiter event, we auditioned for Wheel of Fortune. Now remember this trick I'm going to tell you. When you put your name in a barrel to be handpicked for an audition, curl the entry card. Out of 2,000 plus entry slips, both of our entries got picked for the audition out of about 12 people picked altogether because of that trick. So when you curl your entry ticket, it floats on top of all the other entries in the barrel that just lay flat. Don't fold it though, that doesn't work as well. Another difference I observed in this part of Florida is that you don't see big, gaudy street signs with bright colors everywhere screaming at you. Buy lottery here, casino here, or huge clearance sale, conveying so much desperation and contributing to the promotion of gambling and frivolous spending, which leads people to desperation. Even the real estate signs used in our section of Florida are very small and simply dark green to blend in with the landscaping. So every Friday and Saturday, you can find a free concert in our area outdoors, except during a pandemic, of course.
Everybody ready to sing? She's a good girl.
We also have a lot of great outdoor restaurants that welcome dogs. Look at my eyes. You can tell I had a martini. Lola is so happy here. I love our after dinner sunset walks downtown Palm Beach Gardens. I appreciated that Florida has sidewalks and bike lanes everywhere. In New Jersey, people walk their dogs and jog in the road because there's no sidewalks in most towns. Frequently, New Jersey walkers and joggers got hit by drivers who were distracted or didn't have good night vision. The one thing I do disagree with in Florida, though, is that they don't require all motorcycle drivers to wear helmets. I think they should. And Florida does not require drivers to have insurance coverage in case they hit and injure another driver. I got rear-ended by a college student once, and my medical bills were all on my insurance. So you need to carry sufficient uninsured motorist coverage on your own policy in case of that. It's a gorgeous day at Juno Beach. Say hi, Lola. Doug's here, I'm here, and the water is like extra blue today. The waves are nice for surfing. There's some kiteboarders surfing down there. A lot of dogs having a good time. It's nice and cool today. It's 77 degrees and very clear, no humidity at all. It's just too gorgeous. We were out and about today, and then last minute we said let's go to the beach for a walk, and Lola was on board with that, and here we are. Lola made a friend. Lola. Nope. All it takes is one bark to get them all going. One bark and then they're all barking. There's 3 yellow labs over there having a blast. And there's Doug. Hi, Doug. Lola. I'm crushing your head. I'm crushing your head. I was also surprised that they actually power wash the sidewalks white with bleach in our community, so pristine. And as an animal lover, it's a relief not to have to see roadkill everywhere as it was in New Jersey. One thing that Florida could improve on is more streetlights for night driving and residential areas. We live in the Sunshine State. Why don't we use solar power for streetlights? So the next event we attended was the annual Jupiter Jubilee, where they had a live band and other entertainment, and many tents were set up from local businesses, and they were giving out freebies and introducing themselves. We went there and had a great time getting to know our new town, and strangely, our money was still in our wallet again when we got home. In New Jersey, we would have paid steep road tolls, parking fees, admission fees, and then came home with purchase items that were pushed on us that we really didn't need or want. The yearly Italian feast in Abacoa was another fun event. So when we were in New Jersey, I used to think I could never survive Florida heat in the summer, with memories of sweltering on the long lines at Disney World. Then I realized that Orlando has no beaches nearby, so without the ocean breezes, it can get unbearably hot there. I also didn't like the congested traffic there. It took me a half an hour just to go 1 mile on the main road near Disney. But then before deciding to move to Palm Beach County, I used my AccuWeather app and compared the two states every day. And New Jersey had the same temperatures in the summer. Some days were even hotter than Florida. So it was only the higher humidity in June through November that we had to adjust to. And in day-to-day life, no one waits on those long lines outside. We even pump our own gas here, instead of wasting our time waiting for an attendant to do it as New Jersey law required. The humidity does typically go away from December through May, though. You can tell the difference between Floridians that have been here a long time because they wear a heavy sweater when it's 70 degrees outside, while tourists are dressed for summer because they haven't acclimated yet. I had to laugh out loud once. We had a 55-degree day, and a Florida native said, "Oh my God, I can't feel my nose." And I was still new to Florida at the time. 6 years later, I turned into one of them. I actually wear my New Jersey winter coat if we ever reach 55 degrees here now. And I love the hot summer Florida days now. I never thought that could happen, but over the last 6 years, my body completely acclimated. Now it's never too hot for me. Bring it on. Underneath the pleasant, laid-back, vacation all-year-round lifestyle is still me, a Jersey girl that will speak up when needed. Floridians are sometimes surprised when that happens, but I will use my New Jersey fire to help advocate for what I think is right. It also helps in negotiations, too. I lost most of my New Jersey accent, but I hope I never lose my New Jersey attitude and sharpness. Jupiter is Pleasantville, USA. I've traveled a lot in my days, but no place else compares to Jupiter. I later moved to Palm Beach Gardens, right next door to Jupiter, and I actually like it here best. No wonder Palm Beach Gardens was rated the #1 city to live in Florida. Maybe I appreciate Jupiter and gardens more than people who grew up here and never experienced living up north. I'm grateful to be here, and I also kick myself for not coming here many years ago when I was young enough to go kiteboarding. We're having a nor'easter. See all the trees moving? I think it's 70 degrees with a lot of breezes going on. And yo, that's what a nor'easter looks like in Florida. You hear the winds? Look at those trees moving. And the pool has a little dust on top. It's terrible. Hey Lola, what's up, girl? You okay? So that was our actual story from 2015. It was that miserable trip to Myrtle Beach, South Carolina that actually turned out to be a great thing because it gave us the leverage we needed to make our move and catapult out of New Jersey so we can live on vacation all year round now. If you have any questions for me, let me know. I'd love to chat with you. And also, please subscribe to my channel so I can keep you updated and keep spreading the sunshine.